welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you're having a good night. Want to give a special shout outs to Ashley, the Top Rope Takeover, on becoming our channel's newest members. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all support. Peace and blessings. And if you haven't already, please take a second just to
smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell,
just to make sure algorithm know what's up. So let's get straight to it.
The Ryan Garcia thing is getting even more crazier. It seems as if someone got to him and something is wrong with him. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, he started pinning certain people for certain things and started being gaslit by all the professionals in his field. Some even incriminating themselves with sarcasm. And it wasn't until Ryan started naming actual names till the last video came out that I'm about to show you, and I'm about to show you what's wrong with the video. But first, so you may have already seen this part, but it's important to understand the rest. He said, "Bryce Hall, sorry to do this to you, but apologize for messing with blank, the thing he's been talking about. Remember, Taylor told me and showed me you need to repent and stop hiding behind TikTok and clout." So this forced Bryce Hall to reply to him and go after him, but not just him, it's a lot. But he said, "It's true, Ryan was with me on a certain island. We got recruited by a certain group of people together, and we did certain stuff while worshipping Satan. He's trying to leave the cult, it's getting exposed by the masses." Honest sarcasm. It gets much weirder. So he was posting a lot of stuff that got taken down, but he said, "If they take my phone, I'll use someone else's." He said that something is going to happen to him soon. He said, "Hurry, fine. Watch this though." He said, "I'm trying to screen record the rules of worshiping the devil and they keep deleting it." Here's where it starts to get crazy. He posted a screenshot from his phone from Googling the demon ball. I'll explain that in a minute, but in this you also see this card cannot be used. Chase has suspended the use of this card. People saying he's lying, but he said they locked my cards. According to Francis Barrett, Ball has the power to make those who invoke him invisible. Here's why Ball is important. You know where this is. This right here is Moloch. Moloch is a later referred to form of Baal, the Canaanite god. And now, because of everything he's saying, they are literally gaslighting. And my speculation leads me to believe that Dana White is the one putting people on Ryan. So Sean Strickland says no amount of money is worth damage that has been done to Ryan Garcia's brain. You can see he put a screenshot up saying started boxing at the age of 7, implying that he's just crazy. And he goes on to put a whole bunch of tweets about how bad boxing and MMA is and it causes brain damage. But not just brain damage. At the end he says mental illness is like living in someone else's body that takes control of you randomly and you have no idea what you're doing. Some people will get this, some people won't. I wonder who put you up to that. Now I'm going to show you the video where Ryan said that he will shut up and only talk about boxing. Look at his eyes. They're puffy, they're red. Dude's been sobbing.
Here to announce my return back to Instagram. Now, over these past couple days, you guys have seen some pretty intense things. I understand what they are and I understand what they look like. But I'm coming back to announce I'm not going to speak on any other topic other than boxing, sports, and my fight.
What's he looking at? He's looking to his right. What is over there? Why? Just remember, he said you aren't the one having their whole family being threatened. Pray for Ryan.
Yeah, this is definitely getting crazier. It seems like they're making him seem crazy right now amongst his peers. I don't know, a lot of people saying that this is AI. What do you think? Think it's the real Ryan Garcia? Or is it an AI doctored image?
I knew this video looked sketch. Listen to this breakdown.
Fine details on this Ryan Garcia AI filter. They're doing him like Britney Spears shit where it's not even him, it's just an actor. Okay, so what we're gonna see here is the bottom lip. Look at that. See the mouth fill in? Look at that bottom lip. Now, his right side, which is our left, you'll see the earlobe glitch. You're also going to see a line over his eye. Right? It's coming up, it's coming up. You'll see the line. The eye will droop right there. You see that eye droop? Mm-hmm. Look at that sag. This is an AI filter, people. Wake the fuck up.
So scary.
Look at that drag. Support you guys.
I'm not sure about the AI, but I feel like the crown of thorns have a meaning. He did say they was going to crucify him and make an example out of him. Do you think that's it? Could be. Let me know in the comments down below.
Is Ryan Garcia lying about being tied up in the woods and forced to watch terrible things happen to children by Hollywood's most elite men? Let's find out. Here's everything that I know. So this very strange video was posted to Ryan Garcia's Instagram account, captioned, "We got them, boys." Basically, this video is of Ryan Garcia holding his phone, kind of running through the house frantically, not really saying a whole bunch, but it says Ryan Garcia, RIP, and I believe that's the B word, okay? 666, which everybody knows is not a good number, and then video is exactly 666 in time. We told you we were coming. Ha ha ha, blah 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 blah, ha la 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 la. You know what I mean? All I know is this was the beginning of the weirdness. So after that mysterious video, right, fans were left wondering what the hell happened to Ryan, going to his coach, mailing, "Coach, is Ryan okay?" And the coach saying, "Yes, Ryan is okay. He's just trolling in the wrong way," which is so wrong in my book. I don't think it's funny in any way to claim that you have died or that somebody else has died just to clickbait or bring views to whatever you have coming up. I don't think that that's okay. And then we get this video. If you haven't seen this video, he states that he doesn't have access to his phone. He doesn't have access to Instagram. His friends aren't hitting him back. He has no money. And he seems extremely depressed and almost like he's being forced to say this or reading what he has to say off of something. It's a very strange video. And just to refresh your memory, if you're not really sure who Ryan Garcia is, he is a boxer, a professional boxer who has a fight coming up April 20th, okay? All of this is extremely strange behavior right before a fight. After all of that nonsense, the real craziness begins. I know this video is long, but stay with me. And then following all that, he heads over to Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, talking about how aliens are real, that the UFOs are coming. They're here for a reason. You can't sell your soul. It wasn't yours to sell. It belongs to God. You know, just a lot of tweeting and ranting. The demons can morph into creatures, animals, people. I'm sorry, my tweets weren't written properly. I'm being heavily attacked. Spiritually, I'm in a battle and I'm winning. Listen, I don't have any doubt that he is in a battle for sure. I don't really know what's going on up here currently. I haven't even gotten to the part where he claims to be tied up in the woods and being witness to horrible things happening to children. That's next. Now let's get to the part that nobody really wants to talk about because it is so disgusting and horrible. This is, or is supposed to be, Bohemian Grove. This is located in California, and this is a men's only elite retreat. I'm talking presidents have gone. The most famous men in the world, the top of the top who run the world, go to this retreat and have a good time. I'm sure you can imagine all the disgusting things that go on at this retreat, this camp, this good time, okay? Ryan is claiming that he was taken there, tied up in the woods, and forced to watch terrible things happen to children. He says all this on a phone call with Andrew Tate, who, if you remember, Andrew Tate is currently in a lawsuit for human trafficking. Don't know why he called him. Have no idea. On the phone with Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate's like, "Man, what's going on? What happened?" He explains to him how he was tied up. He's extremely upset in the call. Fuck this, fuck that, fuck blah, 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 blah. Okay? I was tied up, forced to watch this. I'm done. I've had enough. I'm exposing. The truth will come out. Saying all these horrible things. I'm not going to play you the clip. The audio is out there. If you would like to look it up on your phone, be my guest. My phone. No. I will not be playing that for you. This is my take on the whole situation. If this truly happened, how disgusting. How horrible. I hope Ryan exposes everybody and gives the names of everybody who was there. If this didn't happen and you're using this to get attention for your fight, you deserve jail time. because it's disgusting to say these things, to have these claims just to promote your boxing career. I don't know what the truth is. I'm sure we'll never know what the truth is. Maybe it's just a manic episode. I don't know. Up until all of this, Ryan Garcia has been a man of God, has been a good boxer, has had, I feel like, a good presence in social media, okay? I don't know where all of this is coming from. It's extremely out of left field, and I don't really know what to believe. What do you think? Do you think that this was all made up to promote his fight, or something really terrible did happen to Ryan Garcia? Please let me know in the comments what you think. Have a great day.
Yeah, that's the question that a lot of us is asking right now. Both sides have valid points. And like she said, it's a truth, we'll probably never know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below.
They showed that man the ritual that they were trying to perform during the full solar eclipse. It wasn't an initiation ritual for him. It was a ritual to show him what to do during the solar eclipse. And it freaked him out, so he got the fuck out of there. Because in order to be a part of a ritual like that, you have to know the words to say. You have to know the practices. You have to know everything about what is going on in order for the ritual to work. Now, I am going to show you and explain to you exactly what the cabal's plan is. And I'm telling you, if you are someone who scares easily, do not watch this without someone or before you go to bed. And if you don't know what man I'm talking about, the man that everyone has seen wearing a crown of thorns and saying that they were going to kill April 12th of 2024, 4 days after the solar eclipse. And I'm going to show you what 412, what scripture is attached to that in the Bible. But first, let's get to the evil cabal. So that place that he was talking about is actually more than what he knows. It's more than what a lot of people know. The deity that they are worshiping, Moloch, is the deity of sacrifice, because I cannot say it. Moloch the owl is an ancient Egyptian deity that was worshipped, and they would kill at his feet. What they showed him was what they needed to do in order to pass off the karmic energy. So the higher ups and the elite try to transfer all their karmic debt and karmic energy to the innocent, the most innocent. And who are the most innocent in the world? That man witnessed firsthand what was supposed to be done at a massive operation. There were supposed to be multiple that were taken to that place. So you all know that the solar eclipse is supposed to come April 8th of 2024. You have seen people talking about it, saying that the energy is going to be so high, and it's going to be the first eclipse of solar totality since 2017 that has the most ever people watching it in our generation. Remember how I told you that total solar eclipse will be the judge of the elites, and that the Vatican would be judged, Catholicism will be judged, false prophets, everyone will be judged. You think they were gonna be judged and not try to fight back? You think they don't know what's coming? Mind you, people from the Vatican are the type of people that go to... Those are the type of people, not Hollywood superstars. People that have the longest bloodlines in the world go there. They tried to initiate him into something bigger. They tried to show him something bigger, and it's not because of who he is. It's because of his bloodline. I guarantee you, those people know something about him he probably doesn't even know about himself. In ancient Mayan culture, it was known that during a total solar eclipse, they took a false king, and they used that king and held him captive while the real king was put away, and they killed the fake king after the total solar eclipse because he was said to have been to absorb all the negative energy. That man saying that he saw them doing things with was just a test. Because I'm telling you, they are planning a massive ritual during the total solar eclipse. So while everyone is looking up, the cabal will have on their masks, gloves, robes. They will be in front of Moloch, and they will try to fight the day of judgment upon themselves with the most evil anyone has ever felt. That is what is going on. That is what that man is showing. He's showing it, and he failed the test because God knows who his people are. Because I know you guys are like, well, what? I see you guys, and you just can't put it together. And I'm telling you, y'all need to follow and listen to me, because I've been talking about this for probably 2 months now. Like he has given us his word to lead us and to guide us and to direct us. Not only has he given us his word to do that work as if it's outside of us, he has given us his word to penetrate the depths of who we are and transform us from the inside out. Hebrew 4:12. Oh, and if you don't believe me about the solar eclipse and the substitute king, yeah, the Assyrians did it.
Yo, shout outs to Asia_Ba. That's AJA_BA. Yo, that was a real great theory. Like, it pieces together a lot of things. What if he is in the bloodline? You know, don't even know it. You know? Crown of thorns. Right? And what if he really actually failed the test, right? Those are some things to think about, right? So, yeah, shout outs to her. Yeah, that was a great theory. Let me know what you think of that in the comments down below.
Lifting your puny shouts of triumph to the stars. But when again, ye turn your faces to the marketplace, do ye not find waiting at the fools three conquer care. Don't mind the spirit. It is not all. Thou waitest for us. For this our silver army is fight thee as of old, and some of us prevail against thee. Some thou shalt destroy. But this too we know. Year after year within this happy throne, our fellowship bends thee for a space. Thy malevolence which would pursue us here has lost its power under these friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, and in the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free. You shall burn me once again. Now with these flames, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign, ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire. Wow. Great central of all mortal wisdom, thou of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
Warning: viewer discretion is extremely advised, and this video is not for the faint of.
You think you're hot shit, don't you? You will call me. You will call me. You will call me. Say it again. Just get lost. Just get lost. Just get lost. Just get lost. You think you're hot shit, don't you? You think you're hot shit, don't you? Say it again! Say it again! You think you're hot shit, don't you? Just get lost. You think you're hot shit, don't you? Just get lost. You think you're hot shit, don't you? Just get lost. You think you're hot shit, don't you? Just get lost.
Shout outs to the reasonable gents who uploaded that TikTok. And shout out to Ryan Sparrow. Ryan Sparrow. You know, guys, I only got here because of Ryan Garcia. You know?
Please spread the fucking word. Never forget this. Never forget this. Children lives matter. And this has been going on for years. I've been knowing about this for many things. And it's insane. Please spread the word. Spread until they're held accountable. Every last motherfucker who's in the industry, entertainment industry, every fucking company, I hope they fucking get what they deserve. This is not gonna get away with it for sure. And they're human. They shit like us. They eat like us. They sleep like us. These people are nobody. And these people in justice, because many citizen prisoners are in jail facing their consequences, the same exact motherfucking shit that these celebrities do. It's business.
See, once again, very emotional, you know? And she's absolutely right. I totally agree with her, you know? As you see, yo, the news don't talk about it, the people gonna talk about it. You feel me? And it's a lot of talk in the air right now. It's a good thing. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.
So I just went down the Ryan Garcia rabbit hole and I ended up at the John Podesta video.
It's not just me, it's not just you. This is how people really feeling. Like, this stuff is really out here now. Right? Like, what Ryan Garcia did was throw a grenade in the tinfoil hats factory. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can just see it in her eyes. Disgust. The disappointment. You ever been really disappointed at somebody? Right? Like, it's worse than being angry. You know? Oh, the anger's there. Trust me. But the shock, the processing of it all. Viewers' discretion is advised. YouTube, this is for entertainment purposes only. Totally feel him on that. Yeah, it's been circulating. You know, this is all because of the Ryan Garcia situation. You know? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you aware of this?
So John Podesta, what he did was, in this video that he was filming, because this was, everybody has their kinks. I get it. We all have our kinks. However, my kink is not to throw a into a burning hot shower and just to hear them scream until they say your nickname. And what he did was, he threw him into the shower, burning hot water. He said, say my nickname. Tell them what they call me in Washington. Say the name what they call me in Washington. Now, what is his nickname in Washington? It's Skippy. All right. So what is this little kid screaming? Skippy, Skippy, please stop, Skippy. And that's all you can hear. So this is real stuff. All right. This dude is actually demented. When you look at the correlation and you compare images, they look identical. Okay, John Podesta, Chester Bennington. John Podesta is known for doing all this crazy stuff. Well, that births the thought. Chester Bennington looks a lot like him. Chester Bennington was molested as a kid. Chester Bennington has never said what his dad's real name is. Why would he not come out and say what his dad's real name is? Maybe he wants to keep it personal, or maybe he was threatened. Maybe they said, look, Chester Bennington, I'm not going to call Chester Bennington a sellout, but you don't get that big for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're like, look, Chester, we want to keep you.
They pretty much ransomed his career for his silence.
Pretty much. I mean, look how huge Lincoln Park was.
Into the, cyber virtual world. So in one of the emails, John Podesta is talking about pizza. He's Italian and Greek, and a very good cook. And yeah, his risotto recipe is still there if you want to see it. And I'm sure there's something very nefarious about that risotto recipe. So all of a sudden, John's writing about pizza, and one of these really, I consider, evil people in the media world and in the online world, out of whole cloth make up this story that John Podesta and I are running a child trafficking ring in the basement of the Comet Pizza Parlor. By the way, there is no basement. Yeah, there is no basement.
This is crazy. So meanwhile, the Ryan Garcia stuff is happening. We're now having alerts in Russia saying that there may be a terrorist attack tomorrow. And even the US and the UK embassies are warning citizens in Russia to avoid gatherings for 48 hours. And while they're warning, all of a sudden their site is crashed. And coincidentally enough, at the same exact time, Xi of China is urging for preparation for military conflicts at sea. This is a big deal. So is the Russia thing. The big thing is, who are they going to peg the attacks on if they do happen? And at the same exact time, we have the US preparing a UN Security Council, and they are about to threaten Russia if they put a nuke in space. And with everything going down lately, phone providers, social media, the movie Leave the World Behind, NASA prepares for an internet apocalypse threat from the pending solar storm by 2025 that could potentially knock out the internet for years. And the power grid. Solar flare? Meanwhile, here in the US, you see them boarding up or fencing up Washington, D.C., and they're saying it's for Biden's State of the Union address. The first president in the world to ever need barricades everywhere he goes. So yeah, the world is going to literal hell really fast with this massive solar flare they're warning of in 2025, this eclipse that they're warning of, and of course Ryan Garcia warning us of this earthquake. You still think that all of us who are speaking are reaching? Nah, repent.
My heart is beating so fast.
I think that the world is trying to tell us something.
It's just come up and stuck its tail up and it's not going anywhere. I don't even know what to say. What the hell? We're gonna get too close. Look at that. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened. The transparent kayak is making did the whales act so weird? It's just come up and put its tail up in the air like that. It's not even, I don't even know what to say anymore. Oh, and the little baby's just swimming around it. It's a, look at it, there's a huge whale tail right in front of me.
I don't think it was his boat. I think that these animals are trying to tell us something, you know? Look, yo. It look like they trying to tell us something, bro. Something's just not right. Wake up!
I ain't even gonna lie. When I first seen it, I thought it was CGI. Then I went back to it. Then I realized what was going on. It's called tail sailing. It's when they rest for long periods of time. They just, you know, float on their tails.
The two demons that named itself in this individual, and Molech in the Old Testament, where people used to sacrifice their children to Molech. And then the other one was Beelzebul, you know, the Lord of the Flies. And at one point, when the demon Molech was manifesting, started chanting. And I said, well, what are you chanting? And Molech looked at me and said, I'm using my own language to glorify Beelzebul because he's a higher ranking demon than me, so I wish to give him honor and glory. The other exorcist was looking at me like, what do we do with that?
I guess it's a sign of tremendous hope that one can have a sense of humor regarding these things.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I do have a sense of humor, and I think it helps keep me grounded, because when you deal with so many people that are on the fringes, I mean, it can really zap the life and strength and energy out of you, so.
Nope, we were never supposed to see this, as world-ending biblical markings are being found, and everything we thought we knew about our religion and science will never be the same again. People were terrified after archaeologists in Israel found actual archaeological evidence that the Book of Enoch and the Bible are real, including their bone-chilling warnings, and we could be facing a biblical world-ending reality extremely soon. The Book of Enoch mentions the place Mount Hermon as one of the places where Jesus and the fallen angels were last found, and archaeologists were shocked to find an actual ancient old tablet written around the same time as the Book of Enoch, depicting the terrifying way in which the world will end, that was hidden and heavily guarded at Mount Hermon, making it the only biblical place in global history that is being guarded by high-ranking, not just government officers, but for some reason UN officers for decades, and its horrifying message has now been revealed, with the tablet's words believed to have given a haunting curse to the world that those who have disobeyed God, like the fallen angels going to the mountain, will face divine judgment, with some not sure if this is a warning for just the fallen angels or for everyone.
Now that's, you know, pretty interesting that the Bible and the Book of Enoch. I was pretty sure the Bible was real the whole time, you know, but the Book of Enoch as well brings a lot of weight to the conversation, if you know what I mean. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below.
Ryan, I love you, you know that, bro, but you gotta chill out, bro, because like there's a line and people, you just seem like you're losing your mind and acting thirsty and desperate and saying you're a billionaire when you had one money fight. I'm just saying, just chill, bro. But if you do want to fight, that's, to me, light work. You got no footwork, and as long as you've been in the game, I'm a better boxer than you.
Whoever's saying Jake Paul would win obviously doesn't know boxing.
Why do these things happen in the Appalachian Mountains? Like the infamous, hey, coming from the woods. Do you realize how old the Appalachian Mountains really are? They have this interactive map on dinosaurpictures.org where you can enter your address and a time period so you can see what your area looked like during different stages of tectonic movement. I grew up right here, eastern Kentucky. So if you go back 240 million years ago, when the first dinosaurs were starting to appear, the Appalachian Mountains are there, and there's my hometown. If we go even further back to 400 million years ago, when land plants were starting to appear and the first bones were developed, the Appalachian Mountains were there. Yep, you're hearing it right. These mountains are older than bones. If you look, my town is underwater here. But if we go back as far as we can to 750 million years ago, Before multi-celled organisms even appeared, the Appalachian Mountains were there, while the rest of the planet is water. This is just a theory, but let's say what if creepy things like this happen in the Appalachian Mountains because there are actually things in these mountains that just never left.
Shout outs to Ali Shay's World. Dropping some haunted Appalachian knowledge on us. Shout outs to the Appalachian Mountains. Let me know if that's where you're from.
Yup, terrifying mold is currently growing in your child's fruit drinks all across the world, and the FDA won't do anything about this. Parents have been shocked as viral videos show Capri Sun drinks, among others, being found allegedly with small to large mold spores floating and swimming around in their drinks. Mass people have poured out their Capri Sun in fear of what deadly disease this mold could cause, as studies have shown drinking mold can cause painful and deadly symptoms like headache, memory loss, nosebleeds, and deathly allergic reactions, with doctors warning if accidentally ingesting some molds, it can pose serious health risks, urging people to rinse out their mouth and seek medical attention immediately. Capri Suns are more susceptible to grow mold as they contain natural fruits, making the mold potentially thrive. To view the possibility of mold, it is seen near the bottom, usually found spread out or in clumps, and can be visually inspected through the bottom clear part of the Capri Sun drinks. Capri Sun themselves have issued a statement saying the mold should only occur if the drink has been exposed or the pouch was punctured. This happened as their drinks are made without preservatives. Capri Sun denies any health risks, saying their mold is naturally occurring and not harmful.
You know, when they shipping these Capri Suns, you know, they're not refrigerated. They're in a aluminum packet, for the most part plastic. When that sun starts beaming down, ain't no telling what's gonna grow inside. Something that has no light.
Satan can possess someone. In fact, the priest who trained me, I asked him, what's the most difficult case of exorcism you've ever dealt with? And he told me he had worked with somebody for 5 years and seemed to be hitting a roadblock. And he finally says to the demon, "Is your name Lucifer?" And he said, the demon responded, "I used to be known by that name, but no longer." He said he found it kind of profound because Lucifer can no longer use the name Lucifer because to acknowledge the name is to acknowledge the giver of the name. And since Lucifer has now rejected God, he will reject the name.
It's like a child who rejects his parents and changes his last name or something because he doesn't want to be associated. Yeah, interesting.
Yes, that's very interesting. Interestingly spooky. Coming from a priest himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, don't get no spookier than that. He be in a room with them joints. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below.
This is insane. So y'all know that helicopter that went down at the border? Well, the cartel was there videoing it the whole time, and they were even laughing when it went down. They even got on film a fatality from the helicopter crash as they laughed about it. These people are on the border watching us, and they're all throughout the country. But the funny thing is, we have Joe Biden sending 1,000 troops to the Middle East right now, but yet the border is fine. And remember that leaked audio that I showed you between Carrie Lake and a different senator when he was trying to talk her into stepping down. You can scroll down my page and you can find it. And they said on there, allegedly, that the cartel were operating in 50 states in the United States. Those aren't my words, those are their words. Lake and Riley is one of the many who have became victim to this policy. I believe the last time I saw it, the number was 752. As usual, no women, no children. South Carolina just passed a new law saying that it was constitutional for us to be able to open carry without a permit. If your state has that as well, if I were you, I would be equipped. By the way, I made a video 2 weeks ago about all the planes going down. So many planes just like crashing, having disasters, so many problems with them. And now there's been 5 in the past 2 days. Why are all of a sudden planes, helicopters, etc. all malfunctioning? Why? It doesn't make sense. Boeing themselves did 3 emergency landings in the last 2 days. Look it up, the last 2 days. We're not talking about the last 10, we're just talking about the last 2 days and the last 3 emergency landings and 2 or 3 crashes. I won't be flying anywhere.
Rest in peace to Lake and Riley, our family. My condolences. I didn't know anything about these helicopter crashes or plane crashes. That's crazy. It makes you wonder about that 5.5. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below.
Yeah, a plane did this, y'all. The aviation industry is going down. No pun intended.
It literally just happened. There are so many police here now. It's crazy. So these 2 cars, and they found some of the landing gear over there. They think it was a United 777.
Shortly after takeoff from San Francisco International Airport, a United Airlines plane bound for Japan lost a tire. The debris damaged several cars at an on-airport employee parking lot.
And then this happens to this Boeing jet over here. Its landing gear collapses, y'all. Remember when I told you guys that the productivity and quality of things are going down? Yeah, you see? People aren't putting effort into things anymore. Like, people know, like, things are about to come to an end in a sense. Like, we all feel it collectively. That's why all this is happening. It's crazy. But yeah, you guys see a pattern with these planes, because these things were not happening like this. I just came from California, and the turbulence was definitely not needed. That's for sure. I'll tell you that. I could have definitely done without the turbulence because it was extremely rough, you guys. So the skies are talking right now. I'll let you know that. So much activity is going on in the sky, and then we have the spiritual world merging with this physical world. So there's activities going on that we can't even perceive right now. But nonetheless, this video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. You already know what to do, y'all. Keep up with me on my other accounts, especially on my YouTube, where I go deeper on the esoteric level of these topics at hand. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
Yo, that's definitely scary. Thank goodness no one was in that car. Someone is definitely losing their job.
So after the Ryan Garcia thing happened yesterday and the Drake Bell thing, Ryan has been dropping a ton of cryptic tweets on Twitter, even hinting at an earthquake coming. This is all alleged, all speculation. So this is real. I screenshotted it myself from his profile about an hour ago. And he says, June 6th, earthquake bad, all capital BAD. And don't forget, we have that giant X eclipse coming in April. Also, the giant Xing out of America eclipse is actually pinpointed on a fault line. And a few minutes after the first bad earthquake tweet, he put out, earthquake will strike LA, destroy Hollywood and Vegas, aka Sin City. Now, this tweet was not on his page when I went to take screenshots. It was in the comments from other people who took the screenshots. So I cannot tell you for a fact that this one was him or it was not him. And after that, he literally says they actually have the files of Jesus, the Ark of the Covenant, the giants, the aliens files and everything. They are the ones that let me in. They played themselves. Ryan, I don't know you, but I think I like you. Now, I can't show what's behind my head, but he's also calling out the Catholic Church. Then he tweeted, sounding the trumpets, those who had an ear to understand, one of them were sounded off in 2021 early. And right behind me, he's saying anyone remaining silent in these matters is a coward. Then he says something I can't say on TikTok. Then around the same time, he says how slick I was going in and coming out with the files. And then he said, slowly you guys will understand who I actually am. Then a little bit before that, he says, it just keeps rolling in and y'all don't have to believe they took me here, but I don't have to prove anything to you. You aren't the one having their whole family threatened. And then follow it right by, I love God, my kids, I love Jesus, I'm healthy, I don't have any medical issues for the record. Oh, and one of the craziest ones, I forgot to save it, but I saw a screenshot where Ryan Garcia had tweeted, Elon Musk is the Antichrist. So it's getting wild. I'm just waiting to see who he aligns himself with. Unfortunately, in this industry, you don't know who is serious until it's too late. So keep Ryan in your prayers.
Yeah, those are some concerning tweets. I don't think any of it's gonna come to pass. I doubt it. What do you think? Think there's gonna be an earthquake in June? I doubt it. Let me know in the comments down below.
So this is the entry to Bohemian Grove. It's like a secret cult deep in the redwoods where they host super private meetings. Presidents have been here, super powerful people with tons of money. But I'm definitely gonna try to see that owl statue and where they do some sort of ritual.
The owl is in his leafy temple, and all reverent before him. For behold, here is Bohemian shrine, and holy are the pillars of this house.
This might be the best way into the site. The water's deep and it's cold as fuck.
Got the kayak. Got a cast iron to use as a paddle. This place is starting to freak me out. I'm hearing very weird noises. So I just shine my light in here, and all the lights just turned on.
Now I see this after hearing what Ryan Garcia said.
Yep, this is happening to all iPhones right now, and if you have one, you need to get rid of it immediately. People were terrified after Apple issued a national life-threatening warning that all iPhones are at huge risk of exploding starting now, and we all may be holding a literal ticking time bomb to our faces that has already caused fatal issues. With a dark warning from the Kent Fire Department telling others while sleeping that you cannot smell those flames to wake up when your phone ultimately explodes, and it only takes 3 breaths of smoke in your sleep before you're knocked unconscious, leaving you there to burn. Reports of many people having their iPhone near their head or face and exploding in the middle of the night without warning, leaving many adults and children rushing to the ER. After several videos went viral of people's phones catching on fire under their pillow and it burning a fiery hole through their mattress, Apple then warns users to avoid charging their phones at night while sleeping if they want to survive. Apple urges users to avoid charging without proper ventilation of the phone. And if noticing the phone is not cooling down or the battery swelling, you're already in danger, get rid of it.
Oh, shout out to Dave Dissy. Go follow him at davedissy.stories. Yo, he be breaking down the info. I didn't even know that was happening. I don't sleep with my phone by my head, not in my bed. I charge it in the other room. Sometimes I don't even charge it, to be honest. But that's something to think about.
I've been in touch with Ryan Garcia. I spoke to him yesterday. I literally did. Spoke to him yesterday. We were on the video chat, whatever. FaceTime. Yeah, we're FaceTiming each other, and he looks good. He looks good. He looks ready. I'm telling you. Look.
He doesn't sound good. The fans are really concerned.
Well, I mean, look. All I know is that he left to camp yesterday, and he's with Derek James, and he's with his whole team. And one thing about Ryan is that he's been training, and there's about 6 to 7 weeks left to train and be ready for this fight, April 20th. That's perfect timing. Look, in my history, when I was fighting, I needed 5 to 6 weeks in camp. It's perfect timing. There's nothing that it's all good. We will see Ryan Garcia up in the ring on April 20th.
Do you think it was like the media tour that was giving him maybe a little bit too much, stress? And now that he's back with Derek, back in Texas, it's all like smooth sailing from now. Do you feel like?
You'll have to ask him. You'll have to ask him. You'll have to ask him.
You think he went too deep in the rabbit hole, the YouTube rabbit hole?
Look, I mean, I'm not somebody to speak for Ryan.
Of liberty, proof that for a country to thrive, its people must be free. Free to speak, free to worship, free to build great companies, free to start small businesses. We were the freest country in the world, and by no coincidence, also the most prosperous. Working Americans could provide for their families on a single salary. They could buy a home, raise a family, save for retirement without mountains of debt. We made the best music, we made the best movies, we made gold standard automobiles that everybody in the world wanted. We made blue jeans, we reconstructed Europe, we put men on the moon. We have the world's healthiest, best educated children. Our productivity, ingenuity, our can-do spirit were the envy of the world. We had confidence in our strength, our capacity, and the limitless potential of our country. Yeah, we had serious racial and environmental problems, but in the heady days of my youth, the environmental movement and the civil rights movement were picking up steam. My father and some of his allies were fighting to eliminate the last pockets of hunger in Appalachia, in the Mississippi Delta, and on the Indian reservations. And we became for the first time a true constitutional democracy in this country, with all races voting and holding political office. Other countries aspired to be like us, and our children grew up proud of their passport, proud of their flag. My uncle, President Kennedy, left us a legacy of peace and the hope of ending the arms race and winding down the Cold War. Those were the traditions of freedom, prosperity, and peace that my father, my uncle, and Martin Luther King Jr. were striving to protect and advance. In the half-century since their deaths, we've lost touch with that vision for our country. And I want to tell you right now that we can still restore that America, the America that almost was, and yet may be. But we have to start by being honest with ourselves. Neither my uncle nor my father would recognize the version of America that we have today. We become a nation of chronic illness, of violence, of loneliness, depression, and division, and poverty. Our great cities are becoming tent encampments. Modern-day Hoovervilles filled with undocumented immigrants and dispossessed Americans and people living in their cars, plagued by mental illness and addiction and despair. Our border has come under the control of criminal drug cartels that traffic in desolation and fentanyl and in busloads of desperate human beings. Our children are drowning in a crisis of alienation, of dispossession, and complete disconnection from their communities. We've lost far more of our young people to drugs in the last decade than in the 20-year Vietnam War. We've printed 9 centuries worth of money in a little over a decade and spent $8 trillion on regime change wars. Those wars have made America less safe, our country less strong, and the world far less stable, while sending prices through the roof as our infrastructure falls apart. Tens of millions of young Americans no longer even dream of owning their own home. What happened to America, the land of opportunity, where you could be sure that if you worked hard and played by the rules, that you would have a decent life? All the new wealth of the last generation has gone to the billionaires and to transnational corporations, while our tattered middle class, our infrastructure, our industry have been hollowed out from the inside. Instead of promise, we've left our kids sick and drowning in debt. The public debt has gone from about $5 trillion under President George W. Bush to $34 trillion today, and U.S. household debt is at a record high of $17.3 trillion. If you include discouraged workers, our true unemployment rate is 23%. Young parents face housing, grocery, and childcare costs that are unaffordable. Too many Americans are living bleak and hopeless lives, dreading the one medical emergency or the car repair that will tip them over the edge into homelessness. We rank 40th globally in our people's health and wellness. Out of the richest countries in the world, the United States is 35th in child poverty rates, just above Mexico. We rank 36th in literacy and 45th in press freedom. We have one of the highest cancer rates in the world, and our life expectancy now ranks 59th, according to the World Bank. That's right behind Algeria, which spends less than 1/30th per capita of what we spend. But even these grim figures hide the full picture of our dire health crisis. We now have the worst health outcomes in the rich world, the highest maternal mortality rates, the highest number of gun deaths per capita, and the highest number of teen pregnancies. We lead the world in obesity and chronic disease. According to CDC, 60% of Americans have at least one chronic condition. When my uncle was president, only 6% of Americans had chronic disease. And all of these plights fall heaviest on our young people. 4 in 10 of them suffer depression, and half of them have considered suicide. 1 in 10 has anxiety. 1 in 10 has ADHD. 1 in 5 is obese. It's time for us to say enough is enough. We were once a free and thriving nation, the healthiest and strongest in the world. What we once were, we can be again. How do I know that? It's because everywhere I go in this country, I see a profound determination among Americans to heal, We might have become the sickest country on earth, but we also have the most ingenious healers, both inside and outside conventional medicine. We may have sky-high levels of depression and addiction, but we also have innovators who have opened up new frontiers in recovery. We have some of the world's most depleted agricultural soils, but also some of the world's most innovative and energetic regenerative farmers. We have serious economic problems, but we also have the brightest and most ambitious entrepreneurs. We face hunger and homelessness, and yet we meet it with the highest philanthropic rates in the world and bottomless kindness and compassion. We may be on the mat today, but we can be on our feet and happy and healthy and strong again with good leadership tomorrow. Our people and our system were built for resilience. And here's the most important thing I want to tell you about the state of our union. Our nation seems more divided than ever, but Americans everywhere want to heal that divide. Our nation has become artificially divided by political forces that can survive only when we, the people, are at war with each other. People are tired of being manipulated by fear. We learned that lesson during COVID. We recognize that the same techniques of manipulating fear are being used by elites today to corral us into voting for one political candidate or the other. Americans are tired of these dire warnings that to preserve democracy itself, you better vote for our guy. I can tell you that in every state of this union, people are rejecting fear-mongering. 80% of Americans say they don't want to be forced to choose in this election between the lesser of two evils. They're tired of voting against something or someone. I see it in the crowds of mixed Republicans and Democrats and independents who attend my rallies that a growing number of Americans are rejecting divisiveness. They're ready to unite, to rebuild this country, and to fulfill the promise of the America of my youth. They're ready to vote for something and for someone they like, for someone who represents hope and healing, for someone with an inspiring vision for America's future.
And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you haven't already, please take a second just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So what we gonna do, y'all? That's right. Run these numbers up. Thanks again. Until next time.